Alrighty. Alright, welcome to Normal is Boring Sports Cards. See here what day we into the Nationals in Chicago.
Day 4.
Day 4. Alright, we're going to give you a little recap on the grades I got back from Beckett this morning. I guess if I had to give it a score out of 10, being pleased, I am sitting at a 7. These are my first grades I've ever had done, and I'm a little disappointed, and it really comes from their customer service. I've got two good grades, but I want to go through. I've had these cards for 17 years, and so we're going to go through the big one. Had a lot weighing on us emotionally, and just 15-hour drive. Spent, so I got 3 cards, $750, $250 a piece for on-site grading. Placed them on Wednesday morning. I was like 25 in line, and I got them back this morning. It is Saturday evening now, but got them this morning. So what I turned in was a 2003 Topps Chrome 111 Lebron James rookie. A little dark right there, sorry about that. But so the centering sits left, right. It's about a 60-40. So there was a gentleman right in front of me. I made one of the shirts I have for advertising, and I put all the cards on it. It looks pretty cool. You can hit me up in the comment section if you need something like that for a show. Just send me your send an email and we'll work that out. But anyway, so he had literally the same issue, where the bordering, and it sits left, right. He brought the card up, same exact issue. We laid them out. They literally both lined up, and the corners look great, the face, everything. So I got a text from him last night. He said he got his back, and he got a 8.5. We got all the same subs, so our sub grades were the edges 9.5, corners 9, and the surface a 9.5. And I figured we'd get that because they look great. His did too. But my centering, I'm getting goosebumps because I'm just still upset about it. The centering, I know it had centering issues, and that was
similar to his.
Oh, it was spot on to his. Yeah, it was. We really did. I got a 6.5. He told me last night in his grading he got an 8. An 8. You got an 8.
4.5 higher.
Yep, and that's really wide variation there for literally having the same issue. I mean, there's major inconsistencies with Beckett's grading process. So I went back in. I had a couple hours go by, brought it over and showed Eric and everything, just kind of whined to him a little bit about it. And I don't know, towards the end of the day, I went back over to talk to him.
It was depressing just because, like, you expect, from the top grading company when it comes to like cards like LeBron's rookies, Michael Jordan rookies, A6 Fleer, Magic Johnson, guys like that, and PSA. You expect these as the top 2 graders in the world when it comes to this business to be more accurate and probably less of a gap in their consistency. Yeah.
Exactly.
And with his being comparable to yours with a 1.5 difference on one subcategory, if that's the difference in terms of LeBron's cards, not any cards like, maybe a base, Joe Adele or some of the new Rays rookies that are worth a lot right now. But we're talking about a guy who's been arguably comparable to Michael Jordan, who's the best in the game in our era, of my era, growing up in the 90s babies and the 2000s. This is the guy we resorted to in basketball as the best player in our league for 17 odd years, going into his 18th year now, or 19th year. And, a 1.5 difference, for a card like his is, we're talking $5,000 to $7,000.
Easily.
So,
probably $10,000. But
there's very few PSA 10s as well.
Exactly.
So getting that 1.5 differences, in terms of selling or putting in an auction house or even holding, just for future value to wait on if he wins another championship or stuff. That's not just chump change we're talking about.
Yeah. So just to be clear, I'm not complaining he got a 6.5. It's his centering was exactly like mine. Like, we lined them up before we graded them. They were like spot on. He got an 8. I got a 6.5. Major inconsistency. I took it back to him to talk to him before the national closed today, and their supervisor. And I started talking to him. he cut me off. You were just here yesterday complaining about this, talking about it. I was like, no, I wasn't. It was ready this morning. It wasn't here yesterday. They wouldn't let me tell them. I drove 15 hours, spent $250 on this card to be graded, and they kept cutting me off. They didn't want to listen. And I'm trying to explain the inconsistencies with the same exact card is centering. The guy in front of me had everything. I mean, I can understand if it was a half a point. It was a whole point and a half.
Yeah.
That's
because even
really
at a 7.5 for grading instead of a 6.5, you're looking at an 8.5 score if you average that out. So I mean, that's a whole other point. And near mint is close. As closest they say outside of a 10 is a 9. To be in that category, gem mint would be 10. Near mint is a 9. So I mean, you're only a half point shy of near mint. And in that category of a player, of an all-time great, and probably on the Mount Rushmore of top 4 greatest players in the game's ever seen, that's pretty drastic. So.
And he's not done.
No, and he's still got plenty to probably break the all-time points record. I think he's only 2,000 shy right now. So you're talking about a card, especially when he gets inducted automatically first ballot Hall of Famer, obviously. Those jumps, and if he wins another title, those jumps could 2x this card, 3x, and like when you're talking about that point, you're sitting on a, you don't know, a $100,000 card. Gary Vee even predicts that card to be a $100,000 card along with Jordan's.
One sold for a 10 this year, sold for was it 80 grand?
Yeah, his 10 sold for about 75,000, 80,000. And the 1 of 1 obviously made the news, selling at what 3.1,
5.2 million.
5.2 million. Yeah, I think the Giannis was 3.1. Yeah. So I mean, these cards are, and you're talking about all-time greats like Giannis and guys that'll have futures of historical names like that. It's very important to get that kind of grade back, especially after hanging on to it for so long, being patient with it.
Yeah, it's the new stock market, folks. They're talking about the returns. I think since 2012, the returns on calculated risk, of course. But you look at the market, you look at how the players are moving along, and it's outpaced the stock market. I was looking at some numbers here about a week ago. It's
the new Facebook stock.
It's
Amazon,
the new growth funds. It's new mutual funds.
Very much so. It's legalized. It's safe for gambling, as I call it. Safe for gambling because my cards, for example, I pulled. These are, let's say, 2020 Chrome. Mike Trout Topps Chrome, Sapphire or Blue Cracked Ice, as some people may call it. And you're picking these up for $5. Pete Alonso, Pink Refractors, who I think is. Who, as a Gator fan, I watched play ball before he even became a big leaguer, and the home run derby champion and the hype he has around him. If you're picking these cards up, you want to send them to companies that are reliable. And for this reason, I think he was mentioning you were mentioning SGC.
They're up and coming. They're doing great.
I think, and Gary Vaynerchuk is a big. I'm a big fan of his, and he very much vouches, as well as Ryan from Card Collector too, guys, some of the most leading collectors that are really popular out there that I follow and like to, he was at the show and we got to, he was around meeting people today. Steve Aoki, a lot of big celebrities that collect. When this really industry takes off after big celebrities and Gary Vee keep on posting and emphasizing this is a market that, I saw the app today does $500,000
easily
a day. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, the support's there and it's only growing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, we think about companies like, SGC's at $30. They just dropped, thing, and PSA sitting at $250 on a base card. And that's
and Beckett is too.
That's a value under, $200 or $300. That's, or probably a little more than that, but I mean, give or take, that's an eighth of the price.
SGC just hired some new folks to make sure that we're not going to have the same problems as PSA and Beckett had for a year.
Where the grading is included, and I mean, say this was even signed by LeBron, back in 03, if you got it, maybe at a draft and got the card signed, where it's got so much more value, they'll grade that as well. And they include a price of 30, they will give you an autograph grade and a grade on the card. Right. And this could have probably been a 99.5 to SGC. Granted, the standards may be slightly different, but everybody's saying they're very comparable to guys like PSA and Beckett. So for this reason, these limited edition. Also for you guys in the future, like I'm more just getting into the collecting, and myself. I mean, these kind of cards that you can, even SGC can add that kind of value. That you're picking up $10 cards that are Pink Refractor, Blue Sapphire. Here's a great deal I got
Bowman
today.
First.
Yeah, Bowman first, Bregman. That's a Sapphire right there out of 150. I picked that card up for $35 today. It's about $80, $70 raw.
Get the chrome out.
Yeah, first Bowman Chrome. I mean, in that case, those are very limited cards. If you're taking gambles on 30, 40, SGC is a great option.
Oh, yeah.
I think all around you can take all-time great cards and just cards you're just stopping out, just trying to look for future. But I'm seeing SGC 10s go for $400 to $500, and PSAs are right about the same.
This may hurt a little bit.
It's very comparable.
Something you're just in line with that. I actually may bite the bullet and send this to SGC.
Yeah.
I'm going to email them, and I may do that.
I would be curious.
I think it's going to be
curious.
I don't know.
It might be worth it to get a higher grade and probably retain even a couple thousand on the value, just because of maybe what might have been a misjudge on just one subcategory, but that could be the difference between.
I'll let them know the story.
Something like that.
8 to 6.5 to 8. Yeah, I'm centering for the same card, same issue.
Yep.
Wow, something's not right there.
Yeah. That's a big difference there. So just some doubts.
Yeah. But we just wanted to share that with you guys, just to be aware. Give SGC a chance. We're not endorsed by them or anything.
No.
We just see their value.
We are completely getting paid.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's also in the room. She's not getting paid by SGC by no means. Neither am I.
We just see the value.
To advertise. I think it just comes down to simple as me. If you're taking a $50 card, that's a limited edition out of $250, $150, $500 even, or even an all-time great LeBron, and you feel it could be reliable, even to just gain another half point, that's a couple $1,000
Easily.
maybe, to the right person, the right fan.
Easily.
That maybe was there on draft day, seeing him get drafted, and was just a fan for the last 20 years, that maybe willing to pick that card up because there's such a limited stock.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important topic. So definitely recommend SGC. SGC grading, I think, Gary Vee classifies it in his top 3. He goes PSA, Beckett.
That's what I do.
And SGC,
I
me personally right now, I'm SGC priority. I've got a stack about this tall. I'm about to take to them probably here soon.
Same here when I get back home. Yeah.
So definitely looking for that, especially after this is kind of leading me more towards there. Maybe PSA if I can, if they come down on the prices.
Catch up with their backlog.
Yeah, even SGC's highest price after the deduction was only $75 a card, which is very reasonable.
Oh yeah.
And the autograph grade is included, so no upcharge for that.
Yeah. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I do a lot of giveaways. I'm dipping into my 04, 07 McFarlane figurines. They're all factory sealed. Greats. I got Cheaters. I got King Griffey's. I got Urlachers. I've got Ichiros. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me with the slight break. Yeah, speaking of that, I also bought this lot of very common card you guys seen, Bo Jackson rookies. I bought this lot and actually a Ken Griffey rookie. I believe that's a Fleer 89. So yeah, one of his more truer cards, the 548, and then the Bo Jackson 50T, 50T, his Royals rookie. These PSA 10s and stuff are going for about $400, but SGC's right there, hanging around $325. I saw $350 on some. So I got this lot for about $30, and I'm saying even these vintage cars that could be worth a lot are still definitely very viable to go through SGC.
Oh yeah.
There's no...
Especially when you're picking up these prices.
Yeah.
Like you said, and the grading. It makes sense.
To actually even vouch to probably the oldest card there. I don't know if you saw it, but in the back there was the Honus Wagner. Very first Honus Wagner. I'm more of a baseball guy than he is, but the Honus Wagner rookie card, there's only one. It's a 1 of 1. It's the oldest and most valuable baseball card. I believe it's a 1909. Don't quote me on that. But it came in as SGC was the company. They had them in PSA. They had it in PSA, but SGC was advertising it before, and it graded a 3 and was $5.8 million.
That's some good advertising there. Yeah, that lets you know that
the most expensive baseball card in the world is an SGC.
Yeah,
is an SGC to give you guys an idea. So.
They're showing up now. They're not going away.
Yeah,
so.
they're here for future, and definitely the sports card collecting market is as a whole, and I definitely love it as a hobby. I think it's safer than going to the casino and even spending $100, than grabbing some rookie cards that could grade pretty high and just earning your money and sitting on them.
Yeah, throw them online. Passive income. Put them online. Go to bed.
There you go.
Making money overnight.
Yeah, put them in the locker. Put them in your vault, as Gary Vee says. Buy 100 Pete Alonsos, 100 Acuñas, Soto, Tatis, whoever's your guy. Alonso's my guy for sure.
Yeah. Mention in the locker. Yeah. So I'm going to do another video probably about a week or so. And I've never seen this, but so before I left, the reason I went up is it was cheaper to get these cards graded one site than to pack them up, mail them, insure them. Card like this, have it insured at its value, it would have been at least $1,200 easily. That just the insurance.
One of the more popular cards.
Yeah. So what I did is I went to my insurance, my home insurance. I spoke with them. It was really quick. Literally took 3 days. You give them comps from eBay, sold comps on your card, screenshot it, email them all to them. They'll get your price back within a day, and $40 a month for $94,000 and 4 cards.
Pretty good.
Dude, it would have cost me almost $2,000 to get all 4 of these insured to send off a mail.
Yeah.
So you get them insured through your home insurance. It's a rider, you know, a little rider
It's
on
just
it.
a monthly payment, only $40 a month.
$40 a month
You
until you get them sold. So.
For those of you who subscribe to Apple, iTunes, Netflix, and, you know, maybe eating a couple pizzas, you know, that's just all you got to give up to, you know, have this kind of insurance on your best cards.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, we don't want to keep you guys on here any longer. We appreciate it. Eric, Bill. Normal is boring sports cards. Yeah. We appreciate it. And for those that didn't go to Nationals, check out all the videos. There's a bunch of good ones out there.
For sure. Peace.